Hi, I'm Kez, aka Chameleon Makeup, and today I'm going to be doing a spotlight on an indie brand. I've decided to go through a lot of my indie brands, which stands for independent brand of makeup, so that I can highlight some of the best ones that are available out there. I find that a lot of the indie brands tend to not go as noticed as the larger brands for various reasons, although they are gaining in popularity now, which I'm really happy about, and it's nice to see a lot of them selling out of their products. One of my favourites is Cosmic Brushes, which is the one that I'm going to be showing you today. I have quite a few of their eyeshadow palettes. Most of it will focus on eyeshadow, but I will, as time goes on, if there's other things, highlight those items as well. But it is mainly the eyeshadows that I collect and that I'm interested in and that I use for looks. I've done my makeup today, but I haven't put any eyeshadow on because I wanted to show you the brand and then do an eye look with it so that you can see just what the pigments and everything is like in the brand. So I'm going to get started. I'm going to show you the palettes in the order that I purchased them. I first heard about this brand when they popped up on Instagram. There was a lot of creators using them. I didn't buy them straight away, reason being that they sold out really quickly, so I had to wait for restocks. The first thing that I noticed about this brand is that they had such a reasonable price point for what they were bringing out. So they had quite a few palettes with various shades in, and on top of that, some of them, at least one of them, was a multi-chrome. If you've not seen a multi-chrome, it's basically the ones that flick between different colours, and they also had a lot of shimmer shades and some mattes, so it was a good balance. And the price points were starting around about £32, which is really reasonable. They might have gone up slightly now, but also so's the quality. You find that the mattes tend to be buttery and blend really well, and the shimmers are second to none. They really are quite spectacular, especially if you use with primers and things like that. You get very little fallout as well, which is always good when you've got an eyeshadow palette, and a good sign. So the one that I first got was this palette here, which is called Muse. This is the colour story, and I was really sort of interested with the shades. It's kind of like a grungy theme with a little bit of bright in it, which I really thought was something that stood out as compared to other brands. And you can see what sort of drew me to it in the shades. I'm going to swatch a couple of them. I won't swatch the whole palettes because I've got a few to get through, but if that is requested, I can do that at another time. So I just wanted to give you an idea of what the shadows were actually like in this palette. So I'm going to start with one of the mattes, and I'll start with the top green one here. This is like a olivey green, and I've hardly touched that, and you can see the pigment on it. And then you've got this other formula here, which is like a shimmer. This isn't one of the multi-chrome ones, this is just a shimmer shade, but again, a lot of sparkle in there, so it's very pigmented. You've got one up here as well, which I don't know if you can see the shimmer in it from here. It's kind of like a mix between a pink and a white. It shows white in the pan, but when you see it up close, it's got pink in it. And it's a lot more obvious when you swatch it. You can see that's almost like ultraviolet. And it does flick between purple and pink and white. So that one is sort of like a multi-chrome. Really pretty. You've got some really nice colours in here as well. So you've got that sort of beautiful, I call it like a green gold shade. And this is a perfect one for Christmas time. Even some of the lighter shades. So that was the first one that I got. After trying it, when I saw how good it was, I just had to get some more. There was a couple sort of out around that time as well, and then as more releases have come, I've built up my collection. The second one I got was Serenity. I can't remember whether Serenity or Muse came out first, but this is Serenity. And again, I was really interested by the colour story because I hadn't seen anything similar in any of the other palettes. You've got quite a mix in there. There's some purples, and there's also some greens and some blues. So it's quite a balance. I noticed as well there was a few more sort of neon-y shades in here, which I was interested to see how they perform, and they do perform. I particularly like Echo, which is this sort of like a very light pastel-y blue, and I think that's a really stunning shade. One of my favourites in here is the Twilight as well. That's kind of like a bluey purple shade. And then you've got this beautiful one called Ether down at the bottom here, which again you can see as it picks up on the camera, the colours there. It's sort of a purple, but it's got a pink, and there's a little bit of white in there as well, I think. They all come in really nice packaging as well. They do have an outer sleeve, but I tend to not keep them. I have kept the mirror cover on this one. You don't have to, obviously, but it just keeps the mirrors nice. And I find that I tend to use a big mirror anyway. Then they did a Christmas release, and they released this palette here, which is called Wonderland. I love a good Christmas palette, so I was really pleased that they released one. And it's just got some of my all-time favourite sort of shades in there. There's blues and there's purples, and it's just very icy and wintry. And you can see from here, like the multi-chromes shining in it. And this one is gorgeous, and it's got little snowflakes embedded into some of the shadows here, which I thought was a really nice little touch. Atmosphere is one of my favourite shades. That is a flicky one. So it starts off kind of purple and flicks between blue. And if I can move my finger around, you might be able to see the full spectrum of that. And then you've got Frost, which is this beautiful icy blue as well. That isn't a multi-chrome, but it's really sort of outstanding. Again, the matte shades equally perform well. I've not found any shade really in any of the palettes that hasn't performed well. This was the next one I got, and this is the Delights palette. So as well as loving grungy themes, I also really love brights as well. The thing I like about this is they are kind of very pastel-y, but they're also very bright, and it's very hard to get a pastel shade that does actually stand out. But you can see from that, that's the minty shade, which is this one at the top. And looking at the other shades as well, I'm also going to go for the blue just because it's a lighter shade, but you can see how it performs. I'm guessing some people might want to see some of the other shades. That's called Buttercream, which is in the corner there. And if I just pick up this pink, which is called Smoothie, you can see that as well. And again, you've got this absolutely beautiful, stunning multi-chrome. This is called Sprinkles. When you look at it there, it's purple, but in some lights it actually looks orange as well. I'm finding it very hard to capture the orange, but in the pan it looks like an orange shade. And also green. It's very unusual. There you go. You can see when I swatch it there, you can sort of see the green coming through it as well. If I put it into different lights, mainly purple, you can see a little bit of the orange, then it switches to green. We've got Sugar Plum down the bottom here, which is a really nice lilac, and I think that's kind of, I don't know whether it's meant to be, but it is sort of comes like a duochrome. So you've got the lilac there, but in certain shades it catches, it looks kind of green. And then there's Frosting, which is a lighter lilac, but you can see there as well that that's also a duochrome, because you can see pink in that as well. So that's kind of like a pinky lilac colour. And then there is another duochrome. This is Delicious, and it flicks between sort of white and pink. And again, you've almost got that neon vibe with it. The next palette I got was a lot smaller in size, but equally packs a punch. And this is Gothic. And as you'd imagine, it's got quite a dark theme to it, which again is something that I enjoy. The only colour themes I'm not really that fussed about are very neutral ones. So they do have a neutral palette, which I think they've got one called Culturals, which is called Neutrals, and there's another Neutrals one. I haven't bought them just because, as beautiful as they are, they're not what I'd use, so I don't want to waste, so I didn't want to get those ones. But this one, you've got Obscure, and that sort of flicks between blue and white, and also makes a beautiful highlighter. This one is called Chosen, and that is sort of, in the pan it looks very orange, but then when you hold it up it looks very purple, and you can see the flick between the brown and the purple there and the orange. The purple as well, very pigmented. It's really nice deep plum shade as well. And then you've got black here, which has got lots of glitter in, which mainly seems to be purple, but I think it has other shades in as well. Okay, I took a little break and I actually did the eye look, reason being that the house got quite busy, and so I didn't have time to film the look and do it with peace and quiet to be able to show you how I did it. So I'll show you what shadows I used, and I will attempt to do another one another day that you can actually see on camera as a tutorial. But I'm just going to finish showing you the palettes first. I'm really hoping they release another Christmas one, but it's probably a bit too late on in the year now, which is a shame. But again, it's got a beautiful colour story. This is more of a warm palette, where the other one was more icy shades, but it doesn't take away from how beautiful it is. Now, I did use this decoration shade. I used the festive shade, and I also used the candlelight shade in this eye look as well. So they're the other shades that I used with it. Underneath it, there is the pale blue one from the Candy palette, which was that one there that I used as well, just to make it pop a little bit more. But let's go on with showing you these shades. If I'm looking a bit dishevelled, it's because I took photos while I was doing the makeup and I had a wig on, which I will show you because I'm really proud of it. So first I'm going to show you these. So we've got one here called Cranberries. Now you can see as you look at it on the camera, it looks red, but in the pan it kind of looks like an orangey shade. And it does flick between the two, so you can just about see the orange there. Certain lights you catch them better and you can see the shift a lot better, but that's one of them. And then there's one here called Tinsel as well, which is sort of a pinky gold flicky one. I think that's kind of like a duochrome as opposed to a multi-chrome. I'm going to again just show you some of those mattes as well. That green is really stand out, that's Mistletoe. And I'm going to show you Ginger, which is one of the lightest shades in the palette, and even that really sticks out. And the lightest shade in the palette is called Ribbon, which is kind of like an off-white, almost cream, but again you can see that pigment still packed. And that was called 'Tis the Season. The one that I got after the last Christmas one was this one called The Lovers, and this is based on the tarot, so this is a theme based on the Lovers tarot. This one at the top, this is another multi-chrome, duochrome type shade. It flicks between pink, green, and it's also got a bit of yellowy orange in there, like a gold. It's very strange and unusual, but really nice shade. I really love this one here, Promise, which is really nice sort of silvery gold, again duochrome. And I just want to show this sort of, that is blue, but it also looks very silver in some lights as well. So again, very much a duochrome. And then you've got light shades like this. This is a very light pastel blue that pulls almost white. And then you've got some more sort of neutrals in there. I'm not a massive pink girl, but it is nice to have the odd pink, so that if you do fancy doing something more light and feminine, I've got the shades. I don't mean that the darker colours aren't feminine, it's just I always find pink a very feminine colour, generally, which is probably why I don't wear it a lot. And then the other palette I got after that, I got this at the same time actually, was this one, which is Starlight Society. This was originally released this year for Black Friday, and it was a limited edition, but it's now been released on the actual site as well. And this is another one where they've got the little embellishments in, so there's moons and stars on some of those. I don't know if you can see them from that angle. There we go. You can see the pictures on them. Very nice. And again, if we look at the mattes, start with a very light one. Pigment is on point as always. Go for one of the darker shades. Again, looking on camera, that purple, that is a multi-chrome. It goes between purple, gold, and like a red, which again doesn't always pick up well on the camera, but is there. You tend to see these better over black bases, to be honest. Just trying to think what other shades you might want to see. This one here at the bottom, you can see it as blue, but it's actually like a purple. It's called Amethyst because it is a purple, but again, it pulls between blue and purple. Very pretty. My most recent purchases is this one here, which was called Undergrowth. This one did come out a while ago, but I didn't get it at the time. I waited for the Black Friday sales, and then purchased it. So it's still got the little plasticky bit with it. This really sings to me because it's a green grungy theme, and if there's two colours I love in eyeshadow palettes, it's greens and blues. They're the main things that I go for. And so looking at this one, it was just everything. Now this one here is another multi-chrome, and it starts off, you can see it as a gold, but it's actually very green in the pan. And what I love about the multi-chromes is if you're not sure if a shadow is multi-chrome, if you put it on camera, it changes colour. This one here, Fireflies, is actually a green and gold, but it looks like it's more of a gold in the pan. You can see the gold there, but there is a green to it as well. It's very hard to pick up the green in this lighting, but it is definitely there. And then again, you've got Undergrowth, which sort of comes off more of a gold, but again, it's got a greeny tinge to it, maybe a bit of brown in there as well. I wish I could get them to show the other colours on camera, but they're very pretty. They're just not picking up well in this light, probably because it's quite dark. Again, looking at the mattes, you've got this lovely fern green here, and there's a beautiful brown down here which is called Sludge. And just so you get the idea as well, this one's called Box. That's a very dark brown, so they are also very pigmented. And the last one I've got, which is the newest palette, and I've been really looking forward to this one. I was so excited when it finally came. This is called the Death Tarot palette. That is everything. I absolutely love that shade. And this one down here is also absolutely gorgeous. It's kind of like a red stroke orange shade, which I'm going to show you. Look at that. It's like fire in a palette. And that's called Rebirth, which is nice because it's kind of reminiscent of the Phoenix to me. And that blue is everything. That is absolutely amazing. So again, we've got some amazing shades in here. The red is just pigmented. Got a very deep black there. So that is the whole collection of my palettes from Cosmic Beauty. You can see now why I support the brand. They're absolutely lovely and the pigment is on point. And I'm just going to show you the wig that I made, which is why I did the makeup in the first place, because I wanted to do a Christmas look. So I went for the Christmas colours. Ideally, I would have liked to have played with my new palettes that I got, the most latest one. But the latest ones I got were sort of a lot darker. And I wanted to try and stick to a Christmassy kind of theme. So I saw a couple of years ago, a few people had done like a Christmas tree wig. And I've been obsessed with it ever since. People were selling them, but obviously quite expensive. So I decided to have a go at doing my own, and I have. This one's come a bit loose in places, because I didn't secure it very well when I first did it, to be honest, because I was still learning, but I still wanted to show it off. I thought about pinning it all down and gluing it, but then I didn't want to ruin the wig. So what I have done is I've got one in a similar shade, and I am going to glue that one down. So that's on its way, and when it comes I will glue it. This bit conceals inside the wig, and ta-da! You've got your own light up Christmas tree wig. Now, if people are interested and you'd like to see a full tutorial on how I did the wig, because I'm going to be doing another one, but I'm actually going to be gluing it down as I go. If you'd like to see it, if you put a message in the comments and let me know, I will film the process so that you can make your own Christmas tree wig. It's really simple. The hardest bit is getting it to stay down, which in this case I just used hair grips. Let me know what you think to the video. Let me know what you think to the brand. And I will be doing some more videos like this. So thanks for watching. Come back next time. Take care. Bye.